Welcome back to another Chris and Retro signature moment. Man, I have tried to get this video done no less than 10 times at this point. I've had everything from flies dropping in to poor audio quality to you name it. Stumbling on my words, the whole deal. I'm going to try again. I think it's interesting, though, that this time around I have a slightly different perspective than I did on the previous 10 times because I realized something. I was calling out somebody on something that I was actually doing in the video. So in how I do things, I'll put it all out there for you to condemn me or to see how it can happen to you too. So I was starting with it. I had come across some music from 2019, 2020 that I really enjoyed, and I didn't know about this whole circumstance. I'm a big music fan. I love all genres of music. Whether rock was really where I cut my teeth. You obviously see I like Southern rock with a Simple Man thing in the background, but country I'm big on. But hip hop, if the lyrics are good and they actually mean something and they're for a purpose, I'm behind it. There's an artist named Bizzle that is pretty true guy in terms of what he believes in life, and he's a street guy. He's had some real hardcore times, but at the same time now he's a Christian and out doing the right thing, and I like what his music is. Well, in 2019 or 20, Joyner Lucas came out with a song called Devil's Work, and in that video for that song he's got a bottle of Hennessy in the right hand and a Bible in the left, and in that video, he's basically just asking God a lot of tough questions that we all do. I'm sure you've done the same thing. I know I have. God, why are you doing this? Why'd you do that? Why'd you take this person? Why'd you take that person? And the whole song is really questioning God about why he's taken people that Joyner perceived were quality, good people, and didn't take people that were more sinister and those types of things. So that was the general nature of the song. Bizzle came out with a reaction to it, and not a reaction from his perspective. He answered Joyner's questions to God, and Bizzle's song is As God. So it's the Devil's Work Response is what his is called. And basically it's just an outstanding song. I mean, he's talking about how God is saying, why are you questioning me about these people? You're telling me if they are good that they're better off there than they are with me. He said, I'm the potter, you're the clay, and now the clay questions me. How about that? Or something along those lines. And then he says, I'm the one that put breath in your lungs and made the brain that you're now questioning me with. And those types of lyrics I find clever, but they're also powerful. So anyway, that's the song. Pretty powerful song. Outside of that, and YouTube, there's a lot of reactors. I'm sure you've watched some reactors. I like music reactors. No Life Shack's one I find to be fun. He's got a lot of energy, brought himself up from nothing, and I'm a big fan of what he does. I think he's fair, and I enjoy it for entertainment. And he acknowledges he's an entertainer. So anyway, these reactors, probably 5 or 6 of them are secular reactors. They don't follow Christian faith whatsoever, aren't really of Bizzle's audience. They are of the audience, but they aren't Bizzle's belief system, I would say, is a better way of putting it. And they were all behind us. They said, they supported it. They thought the lyrics were solid. They thought he was solid. But at the same time, they said, you can't argue with him. They felt the song was powerful. But there's one reactor, 2 pastors. These 2 pastors started picking apart everything Bizzle said. Boy, that frosted me. I'm like, you're kidding me. There's the one reactor that actually should have been behind what Bizzle was doing, was ripping his message apart, and they're the ones that should have been bolstering the message when in fact his message was being bolstered exactly where it was supposed to land. Those that were hurting, those were asking the tough questions, that type of thing. So anyway, my first video is going to be all about that, basically saying, as Christians we shouldn't be ripping on people, other Christians that are trying to do good work and all this other stuff. We got to meet people where they're at, and that was going to be my perspective. Well, guess what? I'm a hypocrite, because by doing a video just like that, I'm doing exactly what they did. So it kind of went like this. Bizzle's doing good work. He's out there spreading music the way he should. And then the 2 Christian guys are ripping on him, and I'm mad at them because the 2 Christians are ripping on another Christian. And then now this Christian comes along and rips on the Christians, ripping on the Christians. So there's a reason why the first videos got screwed up. I'm here, I guess, basically as a case study for you on how this whole thing can play out real quick. And I'm sitting here, I really did have honorable intentions. I wasn't trying to be a jerk. I was trying to, present a lesson to say, look, if we have a certain belief system, we're supposed to be ambassadors of hope and help, not condemning each other, because nobody really cares about our debates internally, and they don't care about what we're doing in our church if they're not in that place. And then I turn around, I'm doing the same thing that I was picking on people about. So I guess where I go from here is this. I do co-sign Bizzle's message, and I really think that where we need to be as Christian people or as people in general is be willing to sit with people where they're at and where they're broken, regardless of what it is they believe. In my Bible from my last incarceration, I had a new Bible in there, and I was reading that in jail, and it was brand new, so I didn't have anything in there. So all the notes in there are from me. And the first note on the bottom right page, I had written Matthew 9 through 13. I really don't even remember what it was. So I looked it up, and interestingly enough, it was about Jesus getting crushed because he was there talking to tax collectors and sinners. And they're like, why are you talking to those people? And he's like, it's not the healthy that need healing. It's they need a doctor. It's the sick. It's the sick that needed his message. And man, that's exactly what Bizzle's doing. He's delivering it in his authentic way to people to say, look, I understand where you're at and I'm here to help. When I was coming out of my season of struggle, I was in a church. I was brought to church several times. And in the back of the church one time, I remember walking out F-bombing the church and saying, you don't understand, and leaving because I wasn't in a place where I could take that information in. I was not ready to hear any of it. And quite honestly, it wasn't a help to me to be put into the construct of a church in a belief system that I had no sense of what it was to me at that point in my life. It didn't meet me where I was at. I was coming to where they were at. And I think that's the key for us, regardless if it's a Christian structure or if you have another belief system where you want to help people, you've got to go to where they're at and where they're broken and meet them right, make eye contact with them. I think it's far more powerful for Christian people and others as well to not debate your philosophies or the rules of your club inside the building that is your club. It's more impactful for you to go outside of those walls, sit on a park bench in the heat with a bottled water and hand it to somebody who might be highly intoxicated and maybe not hear a word you have to say, or they might hear it all and just can't respond yet, because you're just planting a seed that somebody actually cared in that moment. And for some, they hear that message, they go about their day, and after a period of time, more of those messages land in their pathway, and maybe someday they have their own show on YouTube. Who knows? I hope this message makes sense and lands in you. It's taken an awful lot of effort to get this video out, but I know it was relevant. It was important. I guess the real question is, and I have to ask this of me now, am I a hypocrite or a healer? Am I trying to help those sick, or am I trying to tell them my rules? Am I willing to meet somebody right where they're at when they don't believe anything I have to believe and they're living a lifestyle I entirely disagree with, to just be there and help them? Am I okay with me just as I am and willing to share the story about how my life has been impacted, to only show them that this is a way that you could find help and hope? Am I content with it just being that? I think if we approach it from that perspective, we're probably going to help a lot more people than we think. Thanks for tuning in. I really appreciate you joining the show. Please make sure you like and subscribe. I think as we watch these YouTube channels, we don't realize how important it is to like and subscribe. Let me tell you something. As I'm trying to figure out this whole social media thing and making sure this show is successful, it matters. I need your help. So we want to go well on our way to 1,000 subscribers, and I'd love it if you'd help us join that journey. So if you're watching this and you enjoy the content, please subscribe. Thanks again. I look forward to talking to you soon.